Welcome neuron chemistry class. We are studying electrochemistry. Okay, in the last video I have teach you the Kohlrausch's law. Kohlrausch's law, or the law of independent migration of ions. That was the law that the lambda infinity means the molar conductivity at infinite dilution is the sum of the molar conductivities at infinite dilution of cations and anions of the respective electrolytes. Okay, according to this law, we can calculate the lambda infinity of any electrolyte with the help of the molar conductivities at infinite dilution of cations and anions. In this video, we will discuss about the applications of the Kohlrausch law. Okay, first application, there are three main important applications. The number one is to calculate the degree of ionization. We know that electrolytes are of two types, weak and strong. A strong electrolyte means the ionization in 100% takes place, but weak electrolyte means there is no 100% ionization takes place, means some less than 100% degree of ionization takes place, ionization, or we can say dissociation. So with the help of Kohlrausch law, we can calculate the degree of ionization or degree of dissociation. How? This is the degree of dissociation or degree of ionization alpha. Alpha is always the ratio of the lambda c, or we can say lambda m. Lambda m or lambda c means the molar conductivity at concentration c, and lambda infinity means the molar conductivity at infinite dilution. ठीक है, means the degree of ionization is the ratio of lambda m or lambda c and lambda infinity. Okay, and with the help of this alpha, we can also calculate the degree of equilibrium constant or dissociation constant or ionization constant. How? We have discussed in 11th in ionic equilibria. K, or K is the ionization constant. It is always equal to C alpha square upon C1 minus alpha. C is the concentration of the solution given. Alpha is the degree of dissociation. We can calculate alpha from this formula, and C is always given, the concentration of the solution. Then we can easily calculate the ionization constant, or we can say dissociation constant. Okay, see the example about it. The molar conductivity of 0.025 mole per liter methanoic acid is 46.1 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Okay, this is the concentration of the solution, and this is the lambda infinity. Okay, lambda infinity, no, this is the lambda m. Calculate the degree of dissociation and dissociation constant. We have to calculate the alpha and the k, and given the lambda infinity H plus is equal to 349.6 Simon centimeter square mole inverse, and lambda infinity HCO minus is equal to 54.6 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. First of all, we have to calculate lambda infinity with the help of Kohlrausch law. According to Kohlrausch law, lambda infinity HCOH, this is the methanoic acid, is equal to, this will be dissociated, HCOOH. This is the methanoic acid, and it will dissociate it into H plus and HCOO minus. So according to Kohlrausch law, lambda infinity HCOH is equal to lambda infinity H plus lambda infinity HCO minus. So on putting the values of H plus and HCO minus, we can calculate the lambda infinity HCO minus. This will be 404.2 Simon centimeter mole inverse. Okay, this is the lambda infinity, and this was the lambda C. It is given lambda m or lambda c. Okay, then the alpha will be equal to lambda m upon lambda infinity. Lambda m is 46.1, lambda infinity is 404.2, then the alpha will be equal to 0.114. Okay, or we can say in percentage 1.14%. Okay, now we have to calculate the dissociation constant K. K means K means C alpha square upon 1 minus alpha. Okay, C is given 0.025. Okay, alpha is calculated 0.114 square upon 1 minus 0.114. Then how, after solving these values, K will be get 3.67 into 10 to the power minus 4 mole per liter. Okay, clear? Thus we can calculate the degree of ionization or degree of dissociation of any weak electrolyte and the ionization constant for that electrolyte. Clear? Let's see the second application of the Kohlrausch law to calculate lambda infinity of any weak electrolyte. We can calculate easily the molar conductivity at infinite dilution of any weak electrolyte. How? Weak electrolytes are not ionized completely in the solution, so with the help of Kohlrausch law we can calculate infinity of any weak electrolyte. For example, first of all we are taking example of acetic acid. See, if any weak electrolyte AB is given and we have to calculate the lambda infinity of this electrolyte with the help of Kohlrausch law, so we can take 3 electrolytes for this purpose, which here in AB, A plus and B minus ions are present. So in first electrolyte A plus should be present, in second electrolyte B minus should be present. Okay, for very easy calculation we can take, if we have to take itself examples, then A plus will be attached with Cl minus and B minus will be attached with Na plus. So two compounds are obtained and the third compound will be always NaCl, because A plus and B minus are obtained with by the sum of these two electrolytes, but there is Na and Cl are extra, so we have to subtract these conductivities of the NaCl. Okay, such for example here for CH3COH we have to take 3 electrolytes in which component anions and cations should be present, like CH3COO in acetic acid, CH3CO minus and H plus ions are present with anion. Okay, with anion Na plus and with cation Cl minus we can attach. Okay, so see here, with anion Na plus and with cation Cl minus ions are attached, and the third one is NaCl. So according to Kohlrausch law, 4 equations are obtained. Lambda infinity CH3COH is equal to lambda infinity acetate ions plus lambda infinity H plus ions. Lambda infinity CH3CONa will be equal to lambda infinity CH3CO minus plus lambda infinity Na plus. Lambda infinity HCl third is equal to lambda infinity H plus lambda infinity Cl minus. Lambda infinity NaCl is equal to lambda infinity Na plus lambda infinity Cl minus. This is only simple Kohlrausch law for these 4 electrolyte. 1 is given and 3 are assumed. Okay, now we want the molar conductivity of acetic acid. For this purpose we have to sum equation number 2 and 3 add, and the fourth one should be subtracted. So on equation 2 plus 3 minus 4, according to the equations, 2 means lambda infinity CH3CO Na plus lambda infinity HCl minus lambda infinity NaCl is equal to lambda infinity CH3CO minus plus lambda infinity Na plus for HCl lambda infinity H plus lambda infinity Cl minus lambda infinity Na plus minus lambda infinity Cl minus. Okay, these are the values of the equation number 2, 3 and 4. In this equation, lambda infinity Na plus is cancelled by minus lambda infinity Na plus. Same, lambda infinity Cl minus is cancelled by minus lambda infinity Cl minus. So there is only two values, lambda infinity CH3CO minus and lambda infinity H plus are obtained. Okay, so we can say lambda infinity CH3CO Na plus lambda infinity HCl minus lambda infinity NaCl will be equal to lambda infinity CH3CO minus plus lambda infinity H plus. Okay, in this equation number 1 this is, and in equation number 5 right hand side is same, so both sides or left side LHS should all be same. So on comparing equation number 1 and 5, lambda infinity CH3CONa plus lambda infinity HCl minus lambda infinity NaCl will be equal to lambda infinity CH3COH. If the values of these electrolytes, lambda infinities of these electrolytes are given, then we can calculate the value of acetic acid at infinite dilution. Clear, students? Okay, let's see the second example. That will be the lambda infinity of NH4OH. Here two ions, NH4 plus ion and OH minus ion. With NH4 plus I have attached Cl. With OH minus I have attached Na. NH4Cl, Na, and third one is NaCl. So according to Kohlrausch law, 4 equations are obtained. Lambda infinity NH4OH is equal to lambda infinity NH4 plus lambda infinity OH minus. Lambda infinity NH4Cl is equal to lambda infinity NH4 plus lambda infinity Cl minus. Thus for NaOH and NaCl. According to first example of acetic acid, equation number 2 plus 3 minus 4. Okay, so we will get lambda infinity NH4Cl plus lambda infinity NaOH minus lambda infinity NaCl will be equal to lambda infinity NH4 plus lambda infinity Cl minus lambda infinity Na plus lambda infinity OH minus lambda infinity Na plus minus lambda infinity Cl minus. Okay, this is Cl minus. Okay, lambda infinity Cl minus is cancelled out by lambda infinity Cl minus. Lambda infinity Na plus is cancelled by minus lambda infinity Na plus. So only two values are obtained. So on comparison equation number 5 and 1 was this lambda infinity NH4H is equal to lambda infinity NH4 plus lambda infinity OH minus. RHS are same, so LHS will be also same. So lambda infinity NH4Cl plus lambda infinity NaOH minus lambda infinity NaCl will be equal to lambda infinity NH4OH. Thus you can assume the formula that we want NH4 and OH. NH4 is present in this and OH is present in this, so we have to add these two electrolytes, and we have no Na or Cl in this electrolyte, so the compound with Na and Cl should be subtracted to get the value of lambda infinity of NH4OH. See the example such type. The molar conductivity at infinite dilution of NaI, CH3CO Na and CH3CO whole twice Mg are 13.5, 10.2 and 18.50 Simon meter square mole inverse respectively. So calculate the lambda infinity of Mgi2. First of all, we have to make the follow the Kohlrausch law for these 4 electrolytes. First of all, lambda infinity Mgi2 will be equal to lambda infinity Mg plus 2 plus 2 lambda infinity I minus. Okay, so we want lambda infinity Mg plus 2 and lambda infinity I minus into 2. Okay, so now we are writing the Kohlrausch law for these given 3 electrolytes. Lambda infinity Na is equal to lambda infinity Na plus lambda infinity minus this equation by 2. Why? Because we want 2 lambda infinity I minus. So after multiplying this equation 2, we obtain 2 lambda infinity I minus. Okay. Next, lambda infinity acetate, magnesium acetate is equal to 2 lambda infinity acetate minus ion. There are 2 acetate ions plus lambda infinity Mg plus 2. And lambda infinity CH3CON is equal to lambda infinity CH3CO minus plus 2 lambda infinity Na plus. Why we have to multiply 2 here also? Why? Because here 2 lambda infinite acetate ions are obtained. these we have to remove by the subtracting the equation number 4. So two acetate ions are here, so we have two acetate ions are from the sodium acetate. Okay, equation number 2 plus 3 minus 4. On this way we get the equation lambda infinity NaI plus lambda 2 lambda infinity NaI plus lambda infinity magnesium acetate minus 2 lambda infinity sodium acetate will be equal to 2 lambda infinity Na plus 2 lambda infinity I minus plus 2 lambda infinity acetate ions plus lambda infinity Mg plus 2 minus 2 lambda infinity acetate minus 2 lambda infinity Na plus. So 2 lambda infinity Na plus are cancelled by minus 2 lambda infinity Na plus, and 2 lambda infinity acetate ions are cancelled by 2 lambda infinity acetate ions. So only 2 lambda infinity I minus and lambda infinity Mg plus 2 ions are obtained. This is the value of lambda infinity Mgi2. So these values are given. Lambda infinity Mgi will be equal to 2 lambda infinity NaI plus lambda infinity sodium magnesium acetate minus 2 lambda infinity sodium acetate. These values are given. So 2 into 13.5 plus 18.50 minus 2 into 10.2. After solving these values, we obtained the lambda infinity Mgi2, with that will be 25.10 Simon meter square mole inverse. Clear बच्चों? One more example on the basis of Colruyt law. Molar conductivity of HCl, CH3CuNa and NaCl at finite dilution are 426.1, 91 and 126.45 Simon centimeters mole inverse. Then calculate the lambda infinity of CH3COH. So we have C in the example that lambda infinity COH will be equal to lambda infinity CH3CuNa plus lambda infinity HCl minus lambda infinity NaCl. Here we want this ion and this ion, and this are not required. So Na and Cl, the compound of NaCl is subtracted. So this the value of CH3CuN is 91, HCl 46.1 and NaCl 126.5. On solving, we get the value of lambda infinity CH3COH, that is 390.65 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Okay. Next example, calculate the value of lambda infinity of water. Or then according to Colruyt law, water means H2O. Lambda infinity H2O will be equal to lambda infinity H plus lambda infinity OH minus. Lambda infinity H plus and OH minus are fixed values. Lambda infinity H plus is the 349.8 Simon centimeter square mole inverse, and lambda infinity OH minus is equal to 198.5 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. On putting the value of lambda H infinity H plus and lambda infinity OH minus in this equation, we obtained the lambda infinity H2O, that is 548.3 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Okay, just same one more example. Calculate the molar conductivity of MgCl2 at infinite dilution if lambda infinity Mg plus 2 and lambda infinity Cl minus are 106.1 and 76.3 Simon centimeter square mole inverse respectively. According to Colruyt law, lambda infinity MgCl2 will be equal to lambda infinity Mg plus 2 lambda infinity Cl minus 2 means why there is 2 is multiplied, because MgCl2 will dissociate into 1 Mg plus 2 and 2 Cl minus ions. So on putting the values, lambda infinity Mg plus is 106.1 and lambda infinity Cl minus 76.3, 2 into 76.3. After solving these values, we obtained the lambda infinity MgCl2, that is 258.7 Simon centimeter square mole inverse. Clear? That is, this is the second application of the Colruyt law. The third application is to calculate solubility of weakly soluble, or we can say sparingly soluble electrolyte. Some electrolytes are very easily soluble in water while some are not. Then that electrolyte which are not very easily soluble in the water, then there is difficult to calculate the solubility of these electrolytes. but with the help of Kohlrausch law we can calculate the solubility of the weakly soluble electrolytes easily. For this purpose we have to understand the Wheatstone bridge. First of all we observe or we check the conductivity of the distilled water in conductivity cell at 25 degree Celsius. Now we dissolve a suppose this is the kappa H2O. Okay, now we resolve a known amount of the weakly soluble electrode which is very sparingly soluble in the water, in the distilled water of the conductivity, this distilled water which is in conductivity cell. In this we resolve some known amount of the weakly soluble electrolyte, then heat the solution to increase the solubility. We know after by heating we can increase the solubility of any solid in the water. Then solubility is increased and then cool it to 25 degree Celsius because the experimental temperature is 25 degree Celsius. Okay, now measure the conductivity of this solution by Wheatstone bridge method. I will explain you what is the Wheatstone bridge method. Let kappa H2O and kappa S are the conductivity of the distilled water and the solutions respectively. Kappa H2O was the conductivity of the pure distilled water and kappa S is the conductivity of this solution in which the known amount of the weak electrosoluble is electrolyte is dissolved. Okay, now then the conductivity of the electrolyte which can be obtained by the subtracting of H2O, kappa H2O from kappa S. Here kappa S, the conductivity is of electrolyte plus H2O and it is only H2O, then kappa S minus kappa H2O will give the conductivity of the electrolyte. So according to molar conductivity is equal to conductivity into 1000 upon concentration, and then the conductivity of electrolyte is kappa S minus kappa H2O. Okay, but electrolyte is weakly soluble, so for this lambda infinity is almostly equal to lambda infinity. Lambda m is almostly equal to lambda infinity. Why? Because the electrolyte is weakly soluble. So we can say by substituting lambda m by lambda infinity, that will be equal to kappa S minus kappa H2O into 1000 upon concentration, and according to Kohlrausch law lambda infinity will be equal to lambda infinity plus lambda infinity minus. We can obtain this value by the adding the values of lambda infinity plus and lambda infinity minus very easily. Okay, so we can say the concentration is equal to kappa S minus kappa H2 into 1000 upon lambda infinity plus lambda infinity minus. This concentration of solution represents the solubility of electrolyte. Clear? These are three applications of the Kohlrausch law. Now see what is Wheatstone bridge method. This method is used to measure the conductivity of the solution. In this method 4 resistance are taken. In physics there are 3 resistance box R1, R2, R3, R4 and galvanometer is attached from this and AC is passed. Here R1, R3 and R4 are known and R2 should be unknown, but here in the on the place of unknown resistance we connect and conductivity of any electrolyte we fill here in the electrolyte in conductivity cell or distilled water, then distilled water, any solution, then the solution of the electrolyte, and we get null point in galvanometer, that is the null point or balance point. At balance point the ratio of these two resistance is equal to the ratio of these two resistance. Okay, means R1 upon R3 will be equal to R2, here we can say only R upon R4. So R1 upon R3 will be equal to R upon R4, or we have to calculate the R of the conductivity cell. So R will be equal to R1 R4 upon R3. This is the resistance. Reciprocal of R is the conductance. Okay, and kappa, we have to calculate the kappa. It means conductivity. Kappa will be equal to conductance into x. X means cell constant. Thus we can calculate the conductivity of any electrolyte or distilled water with this method. This is the Wheatstone bridged method. Okay, clear students? Let one question. Which of the two solutions will have more value of lambda infinity? 0.1 mHNO3 or 0.1 mNaNO3? Think what should be? HNO3 will be dissociated into H plus and NO3 minus, and NaNO3 will be dissociated into Na plus and NO3 minus. Means nitrate ions are common, so there is no any change in the conductance of the conductivity of the NO3 minus ions at infinite dilution. Okay, concentrations are same, means the number of ions are also same. Then which factor affect the value of lambda infinity of these two electrolytes? HNO3 and NaNO3. NaNO3 is common, NO3 is common, so there is no any effect about it. But H plus and Na plus ions, number of ions same, but the mobility or size of H plus and Na plus are not same. Size H, in size H plus ion is smaller. Okay, it is heavier. Then which ion will move speedily, or we can say the mobility of ion is more for smaller or lighter ions. So H plus ions has more mobility or greater mobility than the Na plus ions. So the mobility, due to high mobility or greater mobility of H plus ions, the lambda infinity of HNO3 will be more than NaNO3. Clear? So see, 0.1 mHNO3 will have more value of lambda infinity due to smaller size and greater mobility of H plus ions than Na plus ions. Clear? Now, transport number. It is an important property of the cations and anions according to Kohlrausch. Transport number. What is transport number? It is the ratio. It is the ratio of current carried by any ion, that can be cation or anion, to the total current carried. Okay, this is the ratio of the current carried by one ion or to the total current carried. Okay, but the quantity of current is directly proportional to speed of ion. More the speed, more will be the mobility, more will be the mobility, more quantity of current will be carried out. So we can say the transport number of cation, that is T plus, will be equal to U plus upon U plus U minus. U is the speed. Okay, speed of cation upon the total speed cation and anion. Or transport number of anion will be, that is T minus, will be equal to U minus upon U plus U minus. U plus is the speed of cation and U minus is speed of the anion, and U plus U minus is the sum of the speed, or we can say total speed of the ions. Okay, but we have read in Kohlrausch law that the lambda infinity depends upon the speed, the independent migration of the ions. Okay, so according to Kohlrausch law, lambda infinity depend upon the U plus or U minus. So we can replace the U plus or U minus by the lambda infinity. So T plus means transport number for cation will be equal to lambda infinity plus U plus is replaced by the lambda infinity, and U plus and U minus are replaced by the lambda infinity plus and lambda infinity minus. According to Kohlrausch law, lambda infinity plus lambda infinity is equal to lambda infinity or total molar conductivity infinite as a dilution. So T plus will be the ratio of lambda infinity plus or lambda infinity total. Okay, in same way, T plus T minus means transport number of cation will be equal to lambda infinity minus upon lambda infinity plus lambda infinity minus, or we can say lambda infinity minus or lambda infinity. Okay, so we can say one more definition of the transport number, that the transport number is the ratio of molar conductivity. Okay, it is the ratio of molar conductivity of ion to total molar conductivity of electrolyte. Total molar conductivity of electrolyte at infinite dilution. Okay, activity of ion to total molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Clear? Thus this is the Kohlrausch law applications. Okay, thank you.